Hi, this is T.H. Culhane for Envisage Mercy, the Environmental Sustainability and Justice League, and Solar Cities. We are holding a piece of a rotomolded water tank that I got in Mexico at the company. And this is to do experiments with better ways of retrofitting the tanks for biogas use. Normally, when you buy a water tank, a polyethylene water tank, either they have very wide threads to screw the lid on, or they have just this slip top, which we have simulated here. Neither one holds water or gas. They're made as the tanks for water under gravity to fall, and people are putting them under pressure so the water doesn't leak out. The caps are usually just to keep dust and dirt from getting into the water in the water tank. But when you want to use them for biogas, you have to find a way to seal them, and as I mentioned, we've tried different kind of gaskets, and we've tried putting silicone in between, spray foam. None of it works because when the gas pressure from the biogas builds out, it inevitably widens the gap and it leaks out. So what we're going to do now is take the top and simulate what we would do in the field. You'll notice that the bottom of the neck of the tank is a flat surface there, and then the top goes onto it. And so we'd never be able to get inside the tank to drill. Well, you screw the lid on. So take your lid of your real tank and look for where the spaces are. You want to avoid any little pits like this, so we know when we mark this that we're going to avoid. First thing we want to do is make a mark where we don't want to drill. That's there, and that's okay. There was nothing. I made that hole earlier. So then we put our top on, and once the top is on, then we can decide, well, we're going to drill here. We don't want that mark, so we want to say drill. We know we want to drill here, and let's put a drill hole in between, more or less. Let's do it there. And then take your drill, and I'm using a 1/4 drill. There's the 15/16 here was a bit too small, and the 9/32 is too big. So the 1/4 is the best one to use, because when you drill that through, then that enables us to slip the bolt in fairly snugly. So we'll do that hole, and we'll do this hole. Let's make sure this thing is on properly. And then drill down here. And then we will do one more hole in that other hole. It's actually put bolts in to hold it in place once we have it. There's one bolt in, and here's another bolt. We can put that to hold it in place. And then go ahead and make your final hole. Try to stay in the center. Put your hand inside so you can feel where the flat surface is, so you know where to drill. It's not directly in the center. It's kind of off center. And then you got your other hole. And you do that all the way around when you're actually making this top. Okay, so we have those, and you can see down here where the holes are. And then you would reach up inside, and you're actually going to reverse these. You're not going to have them in this position. You're going to put them through a washer, and you're going to reach inside the tank after you've drilled your hole, and you're going to move it around so that you can get it to come up like this with the washer there. But before you do that, of course, and this is going to be the trickiest part, once I take these out, before you do that, you've got to put your silicone on. And it's not just over where you've drilled, the whole thing needs silicone, because that's how you're going to make your seal that is going to be pressure sealed when you tighten the wing nuts. So you put your beads of silicone all the way through. like so. And be pretty liberal with it, because you really want to form a tight gasket on here. And that's probably good there. And then it'll, of course, it'll squeeze out and fill the other spaces there. So now I've got my silicone, and then I want to reach inside the tank and find my hole, which is, and that's going to be your trickiest bit when you're in the field. You feel your way through, but you got to keep it down. And you're going to have somebody holding that, because if it'll fall in the tank, it'll fall all the way down and you won't get it. So you have to have somebody holding it, or find a way to tape it. And we still haven't worked out how we're going to do that. The silicone obviously helps. It is sticky, and so maybe that'll be the safety, that you'd reach in the tank and it will just hold. But you've got to be a bit careful with that. And once you have that, then you can put your lid on, and you'll have to lock it in place. And that's going to be the tricky part. And then try to get, and see, there's one that just, it didn't fall actually, it's okay. Push that through, you'll have to push that through, and you'll have to, no, this one did fall. So this is going to be the hard part, is figuring out in a live field situation how you would keep that bolt from falling out. It's not as easy as we would initially suspect, and you also want that washer in there, and that washer fell out. So let me pull this out now and get that washer back on. Again, you wouldn't be able to do this in the field. It would all be from the top of the tank. And so once you're able to, and I think somebody putting a stick or something underneath might be the way to do it if you were reaching in. And maybe another thing that you'd want to do is you'd want to take a bead of silicone before you prepare it and put the washer on the day before, so that at least the washer and the bolt are actually glued together. That would make it easier. And then when you stick it into the tank and you push it in, then you have somebody holding it somehow as you fix it, and then try to force it up, you see. But it's not all that easy, it really isn't. But if you can get just some of the threads up, then you can tighten and loosen it. If you use the wing nut will help to pull the bolt up as you put pressure on the bottom here. And then you can back this off, and you can throw on your washer and then tie that down. And the same thing on each of these. Put the washer on, put the wing nut on, and same here. Put the washer and put the wing nut. And with this, when you then tighten these down, you should now be able to create a seal that is gas tight. As you tighten that down, and hopefully when we do a field test on this, we will have a gas tight biogas tank that will not come out when this is under pressure. But I am noticing as we're doing this that the nut is just spinning and spinning and spinning around, and You would probably have to use something on the other side that can grip it, like this, that you can get in with some kind of torque wrench so that it doesn't spin when you're tightening it up. So you can get it nice and tight. That would be the idea. So you will have to have something you can get inside with. But that would be the concept for how we would create a gas-tight seal in between these. And we'll get back with you when we've tried this in the field on a real tank. For now, if you have a situation where you have a tank and you want to try it, we'd love you to join us at Solar Cities Biogas on Facebook and share your results. We're all looking for the best way to retrofit poly tanks so that we can make them into good biogas digesters. Thanks for watching.